Join me on my show.
Where?
Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everyone, everywhere, depending on where and when you are watching and joining us. It is April, and we know that April brings showers, which is just got finished doing outside my door. What's it doing in your neck of the woods? One meaning for literacy is competency or knowledge in a specific area. Well, and finance as well, that's kind of self-explanatory. Today's topic will be financial literacy. I am your co-host, Ambassador Lisa Parks, and welcome to Africaonline TV. Now, if you're tuning in on Facebook and you want to join the conversation, join us over here at Zoom. The ID number is 514-199-854. That's 514-199-854. And now for the editorial with my co-host, Professor Niasan. Take it away, my brother.
Thank you, Ambassador Lisa, and we missed you last week, but it is a pleasure to know that April brought you back. Thank you for being here with us today. So, welcome everyone to Africaonline Media Corporation. Welcome to a new season, welcome to a new month, and welcome to a new topic of discussion. April is the fourth month of the year in the Gregorian calendar. It is the first of 4 months to have a length of only 30 days, and the second of 5 months to have a length of less than 31 days. April is commonly associated with spring in parts of the Northern Hemisphere, where it is the seasonal equivalent to October in the Southern Hemisphere. April is Financial Literacy Month. Financial Literacy Month is not only a moment of celebration, it is a challenging moment, an opportunity for us to receive our finances, or rather to review our finances and gradually improve on them if we can. It is a moment to learn. April is a month to learn. Learn about spring, learn about your finances. The Financial Literacy Month was first recognized in the United States in April 2004, so quite recently, but that is 16 years ago. A child who was born then should be able to go for their driving license by the end of this month. And so financial literacy is our topic of discussion because it is but the right thing to do. But we will not start that discussion just yet. First, a little bit of history. April 3rd is the 93rd day of the year 2022. There are 272 days left until the year ends. Today, April 3rd, is the 14th Sunday of 2022 on the 15th week of 2022. Today is also the 15th day of spring, leaving us, Ambassador Lisa, with only 79 more days until summer. On April 3rd, 2022, this April 3rd is the 33rd day of Lent for Christians and the second day of Ramadan for Muslims. On May 3rd, 1865, the Confederate capital of Richmond surrendered to Union forces after the withdrawal of General Robert E. Lee's troops. On April 3rd, 1944, the United States Supreme Court ruled 8-1 that African Americans cannot be barred from voting in the Texas Democratic primaries. The court stated that discrimination against Blacks violates the 15th Amendment to the Constitution and that political parties are not private associations. As already mentioned, our topic today is financial literacy. But what is it all about? Does one have to go to school or to take a course or courses to understand what financial literacy is all about? By my own estimation, a simple definition of the verb to be literate is, quote, to be able to read and to write, end of quote. Extended, it will mean, quote, to be well educated in something. And that is where we catch up with financial literacy. To be financially literate implies, if I can say so, being able to use the money one earns or has wisely. This would mean being able to spend the money in such a way as brings returns, or using the money one earns or one has to produce more. Whatever the definition, financial literacy challenges us to make rewarding decisions when we spend or manage our money. Our guest today will elaborate on that as soon as we turn the microphone over to her. We engage the topic financial literacy, hoping that we will, by the end of the discussion, be able to understand and effectively use various skills, financial and otherwise, to manage our finances in such a way as to bring us profit, in such a way as to be able to avoid debt, in such a way as to gain a full grasp of what it is that money does and is doing to us and for us and with us, and of course, in our lives. As Africaonline Media Corporation raises awareness about financial literacy, our hope is that having tuned in or zoomed in or dialed in, we have discovered how we can become financially literate and able to cross that wooden bridge or that dirty pool in our way. Some have said that financial literacy is intimidating to the faint-hearted, but stimulating to the strong-willed who have the patience and the know-how and are determined to grasp its A, B's, and C's. We are convinced that by the time this discussion ends, we will have taken to heart what a Japanese saying teaches, quote, money grows on the tree of persistence. The key word there is persistence. End of that quote from the Japanese quote. And so, like a father, or rather like a farmer, we have to watch what we invest as it withstands the twists and turns of the market or business environment. If and when we do that and much more, we will agree with Jim Rohn that, quote, money is usually attracted, not pursued. It is attracted, not pursued. We will have to agree with Edmund Burke that, quote, if we command our wealth, we shall be rich and free. If our wealth commands us, we are poor indeed. And believe you me, no one wants to be poor. That is why Thomas Jefferson cautioned all of us to, quote, never spend our money before we have it. That is from Thomas Jefferson, the writer of the American Declaration of Independence. Never spend our money before we have earned it. Well, that was not the Declaration of Independence. I'm making a mistake like somebody made while trying to judge Justice or George Jackson. Okay, that is politics now, forget about it. Okay, let me go on. With that on our minds, let us engage the topic financial literacy with a new perspective, fresh determination and resolve to learn and to put into practice the takeaways from today's program. Africaonline Media Corporation's chair, Reverend Pan, is on hand to welcome all of us on board and introduce our guests to us. So, Reverend Pan, if you are able to speak up, then go right ahead so we know who our guest is.
Thank you so much, Nia Song. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes.
I'm not sure what happened. I think the devil's just mad because the speaker today is a little sister of mine and I need to keep my voice out. I apologize, Ambassador Lisa. I'm not able to show my face today. I'm still trying to recover from a cold. Just for the record, it's not a flu and it's not COVID, so I just need some rest. But okay. I want to welcome everybody, Ambassador Lisa, of course, Brother Ronald, Sister Ruth, Sister Imani, Nia Song, of course, and our guests, and also all our viewers. You know, our guest today is a special young lady. She has another person that looks exactly like her. Hopefully she will zoom in. And when she came to this earth, she decided not to come by herself. They came in threes, and two of them look alike. I'm one of the few people on the planet that can tell them apart, but they look exactly alike. She's a young sister that I'm very proud of. She does a lot of things, but she knows how to make money. And I don't want to not do her justice by trying to introduce her. I want her to take a minute and tell us and our viewers who she is and what she does. So I am very, very delighted to hand the microphone over to my younger sister, Mrs. Valeria Awah. Please just introduce yourself and then tell us what you do. She's also going to do a presentation later, after the host, they give her the mic. But for now, just need her to introduce herself. Then she will do, she knows the show is unscripted, but she came prepared. So she wants to educate us on financial literacy, which is something that's very lacking in our, among our people in our community. So we are not trying to offend anybody here. We are just here to acquire knowledge, to learn, to raise awareness about financial illiteracy among our people, to seek those solutions, and she's one of those solutions. And then hopefully by this time next year, we'll all have made progress as far as financial literacy goes. So Valeria, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Reverend Pam, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Valeria Awah, and it is always an honor to share or to talk about financial literacy. My background, I have a master's in linguistics, so I'm a linguist. I used to teach before I became a financial educator. I taught at Houston Community College for 11 years. Decided to get into business. I've done quite a number of businesses. My first business was Mary Kay.
Mana, sorry, your voice is shaking. Is everybody hearing her clearly?
I love business, but
the voice has finally disappeared, so
we can't hear you.
No, I stopped. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Yeah, your audio was shaking and breaking, and we lost you. So
sorry about that.
Okay.
So I decided to get into business and specifically finance, because just like many people, I knew how to work for money, but I didn't know how to make money work for me. So my passion is really to help people change their stories by looking into their finances. So understanding how money works. I've been doing this for over 12 years now. I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. I went full-time into this business in 2017. And the reason is because I quickly realized that every day that I got up and went to work, I was just helping build another person's business. And since business is my passion, why not do that and do it for me? That's why I decided to get into business. And I love to share this information. And there are many ways we share the information online, like I'm doing now, go to people's houses. People invite me to different groups, to families to go to the library, or different government agencies like the police department. So we are not limited. Companies, if you have a company and you have employees, we can bring our financial education to you. So depending on your setup, we are always ready to share this information. So one of the things that the pandemic did was it gave us this platform using virtual meetings. And so we are able to reach more people more effectively. It doesn't matter where you are. And one thing I always tell people is age has nothing to do with retirement. So it has everything to do with money. So whether you're young or you're old, just begin now. Now is always the right time. We cannot fix what we did not do in the past, but we can definitely fix our future by what we do today. So it's all about the decisions that we make today going forward. And so I look forward to sharing with you this afternoon or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I'd like to share a few slides and then take questions at the end. So.
Thank you and welcome to the show. I'm delighted and very comforted by the words you've spoken, especially when you say there is no age for when to make or to learn about financial literacy, because I think I've been one of the most illiterate as far as finances are concerned. If I did not have Florence as a wife, I would never know how to manage $1 or 1 penny. So that said, let me say,
we thank God for her.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, by way of questioning, what exactly from the professional's perspective is financial literacy? I know I tried to double on that in my editorial, but when it comes from the professional, it is more, it is easier to assimilate. So, Madam, what is financial literacy? Sorry.
So, financial literacy is, first of all, understanding how money works and how to make it work for you. Because if you do not understand how money works, then most people see it as a means to an end. Some people just see it as something that we use to just buy stuff. But the moment you understand how money works, then you know how to work for you. And so you spend less time working for it and you let your money work for you. So we are only able to retire because we understand that concept of money working for us. We are able to send our kids to school, pay their tuition, and not work paycheck to paycheck. Doing that is because we understand how to get our money to work for us. So the moment we understand that, and understand that it is not how much you make that is important, it is what you keep that makes all the difference, then you are on the way to becoming financially literate.
Ambassador Lisa.
Wow. Yes. Wow. I'm going to take these notes on Facebook. It is not, I like that. It's not how much you make, but it's how much you keep. Something I did not know and clearly did not understand growing up. You know, growing up, I watched my mother just shop. We just shopped. We shopped and we shopped. Like that line in Nutty Professor, women love shopping. You can't stop from shopping. You know, my mom bought everything on the clearance list, everything on the clearance rack with a red tag or yellow tag. We bought it, took it home, didn't matter whether it fit or not, because we found someone to give it to. So I found that I was precipitating that same behavior towards my finances as I became an adult. And I later learned that we use that, most women do, as a kind of like eating comfort food. When you're sad, you eat that depressed food, you go eat that pint of ice cream.
Stress reliever.
Stress, yes, we do that shopping. So it wasn't until much later in life, a mere few years ago, when I had a chance to, with my church, we have financial literacy classes, that I began to take the classes and begin to understand how to retail therapy. Thank you. Yes, I still love my retail therapy. How to handle our money, how to hold on to it. And something else you said, Valerie, that I like, you said it's not about the age when you retire, it's how you prepare yourself. And Ronald can speak very, very eloquently about it is not about age, because he retired long time ago when he was barely 30. And he'll tell his story, I'm sure.
Wow.
But how do we get started? Some of us are older, some of us are young, some of us have a lot of kids that we're trying to raise and get through the bare minimum day to day. And yes, we are living paycheck to paycheck, but we want to stop that roller coaster and prepare for the future. Especially, how do we prepare our children on the continent for their future financially?
Thank you for your question. So the first thing is to get started now. Procrastination is one of the causes of failure. When we keep procrastinating, we never get there. So the first thing is to start now. So when you make money, you want to start by paying yourself first. Can you put aside 1 hour of your pay? If you work for 8 hours a day, you pay everybody else. You pay the mortgage, the rent, you buy food, you buy clothes, you buy shoes, you do parties, all those things, buy a car, all those things. What you're doing is you're putting money in other people's pocket. How much are you paying yourself? What are you worth? Are you worth just 1 hour of your pay? If that's what you're worth, so be it. But not saving is not an option, because one way you make money, the only way you can get for, if you start by, it's either you make more money or you spend less. So there are just two things you have to do when it comes to money. Either you make more so you can save, or you spend less so that you have money to save. But the first step is to start with paying yourself first. That first pay that comes into your account, pay yourself. You have to start by paying yourself. So that is the first thing, the first step. If you've never paid yourself, buying something for yourself is not paying yourself, because that money is going into another person's pocket. It's not coming to you. It is what you keep today that will ensure that tomorrow you don't become a burden to your children or to your community. It is what you keep today that will ensure. It's not what you do tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come. So that is my advice. Start by saving today.
So save at least 1 hour of your pay,
Hour of your pay,
no matter
at least
what
1 hour.
you make
Yeah,
per
yeah.
hour.
Okay,
At
wait,
least 1 hour. Start
is
with
that 1 hour a day? 1 hour
No,
a day?
1 hour a day. Yeah, 1 hour a day. 1 hour of your paycheck a day.
1 hour of your
a day.
paycheck.
Yeah,
Oh,
a day.
okay, real
So
quick.
if you make $5 an hour, save $5 a day. If you make
Okay.
$10 an hour, then as you get into the habit, you increase it over time. So start somewhere.
Okay, per day. That's a good
Very
advice.
good. Yeah, yes, I like that.
Because before Valeria shares her slide, Sister Ruth lives on financial literacy. Is that street or boulevard or avenue? I just saw your background.
It's probably boulevard. It's probably a very wide boulevard for her.
Okay, so I mean, I think I need to move to financial literacy boulevard or avenue. But Valeria, one thing you don't know is that Sister Ruth has 18 siblings.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, before Valeria shares her slide, we have a lot of people in Africa that have that many kids. So tell us about financial management or literacy in your family, and then we'll go to we'll watch Valeria's slide. Sister Ruth.
Okay. Financial literacy in my family unfortunately skipped a lot of us. But as we age, we're getting better about that. We, like Sister Lisa was saying, oh, I have some money, let's go buy something. And learning, my pay it forward is to talk to my nieces and my nephews as children about saving money, because when a kid gets a $5 bill, the first thing they do is they run to the store, they have to spend the whole thing. So I'm teaching that to my family, to everybody who will listen to me, that it's time for us to grow up and take responsibility for the things that we do with our finances. So.
Okay, so, sorry, Brother Rona, let's hear from you. This is like before and after quiz, because Valeria is going to teach us a lot of stuff today. So let's see where we are before we start, and then after that.
Okay. You want me to speak now?
Yes, and then our guest will share her.
Okay, yes. Well, in my family, my mother and father were both savers, and they taught us very much how to manage our money. And another thing that happened with us was in the Philadelphia public school system, especially in elementary schools.
Yes.
He had a program with PSFS Bank where we would save money on a weekly basis, where we would deposit money on a passbook. I still had that passbook from that day.
Wow.
Let's go back to 1968. Anyway, since we learned early how to save our money, everyone in my family, there's 4 of us are now living, we each own our homes and do not have a mortgage on them. and we are each financially secure. So I'm happy about that. But one thing I want to ask Sister Valerie is that can she explain to me or to the audience what the time value of money is, as far as specifically a dollar?
The time value of money?
Yes.
Okay, so when you make money, one thing about money and time is that time can either be your friend or your enemy, depending on what you are doing with it. So if you take your money and you give it time, over time, plus or minus the rate of return, your money is gonna grow. But if you are a lender, if you're a borrower and you are owing money, then over time, your debt is going to grow. So the longer you keep your debt, the more money you're going to pay to your creditor. The longer you keep your own money, the more money you're going to get. So think about a mortgage, for example. Why do they give you 15 to 30 years? Because the lender understands the importance of time and money. The lender understands that if you take 30 years to pay up your mortgage, you're probably going to pay maybe 4 times or 5 times, depending on the interest rate. So let me say if your mortgage, let's just, is 4%. If we apply the rule of 72, it says take 72, divide by the interest rate.
Oh, your audio is breaking.
The audio.
It will tell you how soon your debt, your money will double. So if it's is it breaking again?
Yes.
It was
okay?
breaking, yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with your audio.
I know. I'm not sure. Nobody else is using this internet but just me. So if you take 72 and divide by 4, that's 18 years. So that means every 18 years, if you just pay your minimum, that mortgage will double, right? So if you take 30 years and the mortgage is 200,000, you just pay your minimum, you're definitely gonna pay minimum 400,000 plus.
Wow.
So understanding the impact of time, understanding time will save you a lot of money.
Okay,
Did
thank you.
I answer your question?
That brought a question to me. I was going to bring up time value of money, but I was going to bring it up from a business standpoint, because in business, there's this theory of time value of money that says $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow or in the future.
Yeah.
So my thing is, so why save the money? Because the only way to grow money is to invest. Do you want to address that now or after your slide? Since he brought up time value of money, I was going to come at it from a business angle.
Yeah, of course, because if you don't save it, we look at inflation. Inflation keeps going up. So right now it's at 7.2 in the United States. That's the highest in the past 40 years. So we've been around 3 point something. So for somebody that says, I would like to take my money and put it under my mattress, your money is really not, it doesn't get any interest. Though time is on your money because you are keeping it under your mattress, inflation will eat on it. So when you take that money and go to buy, let's say gas, what you would have bought last week is definitely not what the value of your money is, definitely different, not the same. So that $1 will probably be worth three cents, for example, because of where you put it. But if you took it and put it somewhere where it outpaces inflation, over time, that would either double or grow or, whatever happens to it, depending on the interest rate. The interest is what would determine over time how your money should, whether it should double or triple. So if it's 10%, then it will be 7.2 years. It will double. If you keep it for 10 years, then it should be $2, about $3 by the time it's 10 years. So that's just understanding time and interest. So for those that don't want to put their money anywhere else but under their mattress, putting it under the mattress is not a good thing.
Okay.
It's not
So
to your advantage.
are we ready
Before-
for the
No,
slide?
no. Before she shows her slides, since we're talking about the before and after, Imani is one of our youngest people on the line, and she is, just starting out working and saving. So I want to know if she has a question that she would like to pose, or tell us what she thinks or knows about financial literacy, and then we'll come back when we do the round of the table. I'll be able to add what we have learned. Imani.
Wow. Yes, Ambassador Lisa, thank you. So I heard you guys talk about some of your background considering financial literacy. For me and my family, we kind of been like dependent on each other. And I know that, some of it has passed, I guess my older siblings or older generations, some stuff has passed over their head that they're trying to figure out so they can help the rest of us. That's what I see happening now. For me personally, at some point I was pursuing, trying to get my finances together. And I think I was into, what was it? It was one of those things currently where you get into like cryptocurrency or learning the charts and everything. I forget what the name of it was, but I was getting into something concerning that. And it just didn't work out for me in terms of putting my full trust in it. Like everything that I learned up to the point where I could actually apply it. When I did apply it, it didn't happen as systematically as, they made it seem like it could have happened, or I just couldn't stick with it long enough based off of my faith and me putting that total trust in Yahweh, if I'm being honest. So I do believe there's a knowledge gain, certainly by me being here with you all. I also believe there's a trusting factor with the Lord. And I'm just a willing and open vessel to hear what you all have to say and, gain this. And then when the time is right, when he blesses my hands, I'll know exactly what to do with it.
Well, can I just add, it's not about when you get blessed. As Valerie was saying, at least save 1 hour of your pay, which I think is an excellent, and I wish someone had told me that myself. To save an hour of my, I always had an idea of what I wanted to save and what I expected to have, by the time I retired. It never worked out that way. As a single woman raising 3 kids, running a house, paying the bills and all those, keeping them in music and clothes and all those other things, it did not happen that way. But we want to start with this next generation. Now, one thing I did with my boys, instead of them asking me for money every day, I took what it would cost to get in that little snack in school, that quarter for a pretzel, maybe that 10 cents for a juice. And then I would add that all up for the week, make sure I added the extra 10% so they could pay their tithes. So what I was doing was teaching them to pay their tithes out of their weekly little allowance, but I was not teaching them to save money. They don't shop like I shop. Well, yes, I do. Leonard does. He has over 100 pair of shoes. He's got more shoes than the Marco, my middle son. But I didn't teach them how to save. And I want to make sure that does not precipitate for the next generation. Anyone else?
That being said, Ambassador Lisa, if I can step in here, I see a face similar to Valeria's is Vera. No, who is who? Vera and Vera and Valeria.
That's her clone. That's her clone.
Right.
We can't really see her because she's laying back.
I just wanted some clarification before we move on to the slides.
Okay, visit up so they can see you. We are seeing you at an angle.
Lower your camera so we can see you better. Yes, okay. We're seeing just your chin, from your chin upwards.
Trust me, they're identical. Even their hair length, their natural hair length is the same. They wear the same size. Everything is identical. The third one is not identical. The third one is Vivian.
Really?
Yeah.
The letter V made a place in that family.
No. Vera was on this show. Remember when we were talking about when we had Dr. Callistus, when we were talking about race and the heart.
Okay.
So, but so they have different hairdos today, so we can tell Valeria from Vera.
Plus the names are there. But they have that same smile. I can see the same smile.
Same dentition.
So Vera, maybe Vera will come in after Valeria has showed us those slides, because many of us are itchy to see what is in the slides. Maybe that will add to our learning. Some of us are visual learners.
Yes.
Okay, let me go ahead and share.
So Valeria, over to you.
Okay, I'll put it on speaker view so everybody can see.
Yes.
Okay, can everybody see?
The
Yes.
challenges.
Okay, so what we see here is the Saving Your Future book. This is a book that I'm going to recommend. I'm sure some of you have read this book. It talks about basic principles of building a financial foundation. Very easy to read. So any question that you have about finance or different financial products, the book actually discusses that. So it covers all the financial products, most of the financial products in the United States and Canada. And this is a book that we use for our campaign, for the financial literacy campaign. Why do we see the need for financial literacy? If we look at the United States, for example, 79% of Americans feel financial stress. More than half live paycheck to paycheck. 62% of Americans carry credit card debt. 37% have already maxed out their credit card, and 27% don't pay their bills on time. Most of us don't want to become a statistic. These problems are all around us. They happen to our own families and our friends' families. It's ironic that we live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, but we always have money problems. We can work hard all our lives, but still retire poor. We do so much to raise our kids just to see them finish college with a lot of debt. Debt becomes a way of life. And what we see is the income gaps are widening. And that is true, not just for the United States, but most countries, the rest of the world. What you see on the screen right now is wealth by wealth percent from 1991 to 2021. So this is very recent data. And the beige, if we look at the beige color, we have 50% of the population finds itself right down here, another 40% in the light green, and then 10% right here. So what does this picture tell us? That the majority of the wealth is in the hands of the minority, right? So in other words, 90% of the population owns 10% of the wealth, and 10% owns 90% of the wealth. So how do the rich continue to grow rich and the poor become even poorer? Let's look at this chart. Talks about the number of growing millionaires in the world, not just in the United States. So can you be part of this group? If we look at the statistic, look at how many millionaires we have in the United States and counting.
I'm in that group. I am in that group.
We have more than 21 million, right? And that is 39.1% of the global share of millionaires. So that tells us that if you live in the United States, the chances of you becoming a millionaire is very high. So what do we need to do so that we find ourselves in that group if we are not already there? Most of these millionaires are our next door neighbors. There are many of them are not celebrities. They are not fancy people or people who receive inheritance. They are normal, average people who build up their financial future with knowledge, planning, and consistent practices over a long period of time. What do the rich know that the poor do not know? The poor are getting poorer because of bad habits. Bad decisions add up, no budget. So one of the first things to become wealthy, the first thing we want to start is we have to budget. We don't buy at the spur of the moment. We don't just go online, see something that we like and just buy, spur of the moment. So we need to get away from that habit of just buying because we want to feel good or buying because we want to just impress someone else. They don't have financial goals for retirement, college education, healthcare, and more. When we think about retirement, most people that I talk to, when I ask the question, what is your retirement goal? Most people will tell me 65. But I always tell them, do you realize that retirement has nothing to do with age? It has everything to do with money. If you have the money, you can retire at the age of 30, like our brother Ronald, right? So you can retire that young if you have money. It's all about money. They have very expensive taste. Love very beautiful things. They are living with credit cards, debt, and liabilities. A large portion of their income is going to interest. They don't prepare for emergencies. They work for a living. They don't have good knowledge and often not interested into financial matters and more. So these are some of the reasons why that gap keeps widening. And the question is, what can we do to change that? So it's time for us to change. We have to believe in financial education because your future is not in the hands of your employer, your union, or your government. It is neither in the hands of your bank nor your broker. The future is in your hands. So as you make money, save your money, accumulate it, and protect your money. Be educated, be your own money manager, because knowing less can cost more. Understand how money works and make your money work for you. Our goal is to build a strong financial foundation. You cannot build wealth until you build a financial foundation. What does it take to build a solid financial foundation? Building a solid financial foundation is like building a house. We have to start from the ground up. And so the very first component is proper protection. The next is debt management. Then you build up your emergency fund and then investment. So I'm going to talk about each of these as I advance. So our goal is to move from financial insecurity to financial security and then to financial independence. And how do we do that? Let's talk about proper protection. What is protection? When you buy a car, you protect it. Some people, when they buy a phone, they protect that phone. So we understand the importance of protection. Think about your car. You protect your car because maybe because it is required by law, or maybe your car is very expensive and you don't want to get into an accident and lose that car. So you want to make sure that you are able to replace that car. Or if you hit someone, the insurance is able to pay for the repairs. Whatever the reason, what is important is you protect your car. What about you? What about your life? Are you protected? And so proper protection is very important. The rule of thumb is you need 10 times your income to properly protect yourself. And when I talk about properly protecting yourself, I'm talking about life insurance. Why is it important? Because I don't have 500,000 sitting in my bank account today. If my responsibilities have $500,000, if something happens to me today, what happens to my responsibilities? I want to make sure that they are protected. That is why I protect myself. I protect my income so that if anything happens, what if I become sick? What if I'm disabled? Then that protection takes care of that need. Let's think about the pandemic and what it did to a lot of people. So many people lost their lives. So many people lost their livelihood. So many people became sick. I have a friend that just had lung transplant. You know, let's say if that friend had gotten a proper protection with long-term care or critical illness, that ensures that that money goes towards that care. So you don't have to become bankrupt because you're sick. So proper protection is very important. Learn to protect your income, your health, and your assets. And the next thing we focus on is debt management. So we want to make sure that we are managing our debt. And so I'm going to go into details about debt management because that is something that all of us have experienced, are still experiencing, struggling to get out of it. So I think I will show a slide that actually shows us a strategy on how to get out of debt sooner than later. We have to learn to manage our debt because if you don't control your debt will control you. And so we must become debt free. And one of the strategies that I talk to people about is the debt roll-up strategy. And this is how it works. So let's say this is Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith has a mortgage of $338,400, a bank loan of $30,000, auto loan $27,000, MasterCard $3,000, home improvement $1,200, and credit card $150. And the next column is the interest, and then the third is the monthly payment. So that's the minimum required payment. So if Mr. Smith stays on this schedule, it will take him 30 years to pay off his debt, to become debt free. But then let's say Mr. Smith happens to be on this platform today and learns about the debt roll-up strategy. So with $100 extra a month, we apply that to the smallest debt. We start with the smallest debt. And so instead of making $10 every month, he makes 110. That takes his payments from 19 payments to 2 payments to pay off that debt. Then the goal is not to go shop again and get another 150 on your card. No, the goal is to roll up that 110 to the next debt.
Yes.
So by rolling it up, instead of paying $50 on the home improvement, now he is paying $160. That brings down his payments from 38 to 10 payments, right?
Wow.
And then we roll up the 160 into the next one, which is 120. Instead of making 120, now he's doing 280.
280.
So by doing 280, it drops his payment from 33 payments to 19 payments. Then we roll up the 280 into the next one, which is a car note. And instead of paying 430, he's paying 710. And that drops his payment from 72 payments to 50. We roll up 710 into the next amount, which is a bank loan. And now he's paying 1,066, bringing down his payment from 121 to 70. Then we roll up 1,066 into the mortgage, which is 1,816. And now he's paying $2,882 a month towards his mortgage. And that brings down his payments from 361 to 210, bringing down the number of years from 30 years to 17.5 years. So look at what $100 can do to dramatically save you time and reduce your debt and the amount of money that you will pay.
Fantastic.
So the dollar problem is most of the time because of lack of discipline. When people pay off one debt, they go and buy another expensive car. They pay off one house, then they get another house. So the goal is to become debt-free and live debt-free. And the reason why doing it this way is very helpful because it gives you the room to also save money. That way you're not trying to put, because before I applied this, I used to try to pay more than minimum for all of them. And then you basically not really having enough money left.
Yes.
But by following this debt roll-up, you are able to pay off your debt sooner, and you're also able to build wealth. That way you're saving some of the money and not just putting it all of debt. That is important. That,
Oh no, your audio is being attacked and we need to hear this information.
Yeah. What if you could do $200 extra? Then that only shortens the time. So
Valeria, your audio, we're still having, your audio is breaking and this is vital information you are sharing. Your audio is breaking.
Where is she calling in from?
I'm not sure she's at home. I think she's at home.
I mean, is she in the States or is she out of the country? Or?
Oh, no. I think she's in Houston. Valeria, are you in Houston? Oh, no.
No, she looks like she's frozen too.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for Valerie to come, looks like she's back. Oh, no.
No, let me let her know that she's frozen.
Yeah. She's moving now.
Oh, okay, now we missed you. You may want to go back a little bit. You were frozen. First of all, your audio was breaking, and then you were frozen. This information is very vital.
Okay,
So,
before someone is suggesting that she dial in, if she has another phone that she can dial in, then she can speak in the phone and we can hear.
Now, do you have another phone that you can dial in, not Zoom in, but dial in?
Yeah, I have my phone. I can dial in from my phone.
Okay, so mute your Zoom audio and then dial in, but you can use your Zoom video.
Yes. So this is
Does she need the dial-in number? I'm sorry. Does she need the dial-in number?
Do you have the dialing number? Sister Ruth, give her the number or share it on the.
You want me-
Put in the chat box, please.
Okay, I will.
So while we are waiting to finish hearing this vital information, that, like I said, we never were taught.
Can I have the dialing number, please?
It's coming. We're going to put in the chat box for you.
Okay.
We were never taught this kind of information. I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Okay, I can give you the number. Now it's 346.
Okay.
248.
Yes.
7799. Oh, wait a minute. No. Wait. No. That's not Africaonline. Sorry. Hold on. Let me give you. Sister Ruth, do you have the one for Africaonline?
No, I don't. I don't think I have it either.
Nia Song, do you have
Can
it?
you hear me? Can you hear me well?
No,
now?
I don't have the number.
Okay, we can hear you. Let me look
Okay,
for the
I'm not
old
sure
number
why
in
they're
case
saying
it
it
happens again because we have
Stop,
not.
stop, everybody's, Reverend Pam, stop. It's already in the chat box. So
Okay.
yes, the number is in the chat box.
Okay, let me go back.
I mean, we can hear you now.
Yeah, we were at debt management.
Right there.
Pull up, yes.
Okay, so where did I lose you?
No, I think you were at, was it at the bank debt?
No,
Oh,
she
wow.
all of that. She was talking about the problem is that when we get debt free, we need to stay debt free. When we get debt free,
Okay.
buy an expensive car or another home.
Okay. Okay. So I was actually done
Yeah.
with this. And
Yes, basically. Mhm.
okay. So basically the goal is when we pay off our debts, let's not go back and try to get more stuff. Remain debt free. If you use a credit card, pay it at the end of the month. So again, like I think it was Brother Asonglefac that said, Jefferson, do not spend what you don't have. Don't spend money that you haven't made. So let's reduce that use of the credit card. If you have to use it, know that you have the money to pay it off at the end of the month and not keep accruing, debt.
Mhm.
So I think I can move to the
Yes.
next. Okay. So our next, the next is emergency fund. So when you look at the slide, when your car breaks down, that's an emergency. When your washer breaks down, that's an emergency. When your friend has a birthday, that's not an emergency. If you don't have money to gift, that's okay. Do not get into debt because you want to give someone a gift. Give someone a gift because you can afford it. If you don't have it, then next time. So when you get laid off, that's an emergency. When you're sick, that's an emergency. When lightning strikes your roof and it needs repairs, that's an emergency. So the advice is learn to build up 3 to 6. If we think about the pandemic, there are a lot of people that went for 1 year without jobs, right? So 6 months is just right there. I would advise 1 year. If you cannot afford 6 months to 1 year of your income, at least save expenses. So save 6 months to 1 year of your expenses so that if the need arises, you don't find yourself getting into more debt. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's emergency fund. And the money that you put away for emergency is not in your bank account where you access it daily. You want to get a credit union and then do not get a card, do not get a debit card for that account. So you cannot easily use it. That way, when it's an emergency, you have to go to that bank to get the money, or do not get a check, of course, don't get a checkbook. So you are forced to actually go there or make a transfer to be able to use it.
Mhm.
So that is the advice, because when it's easily accessible, you'll still use it for other
Temptation.
things. Yeah, temptation. And then once we have built up an emergency fund, now we can invest. So learn to save and invest. And this is just a basic way of saving. Assume your income is 60,000 and you set aside 10%. with $500 a month or $17 a day and starting at 30 years old. So that's for someone that is 30 years old. If you are 60, just double the amount if that is your goal. So in 30 years at age 60, you will have at 8%, 745,000 and some change. And at 10%, you have 1.3 million. So what do we learn from this? We can all build wealth with discipline and consistency. If we are just disciplined, we can build wealth. We have to be able to sacrifice. We have to be able to deny ourselves luxuries, too many luxuries, so we can build wealth, so that when we are older, we are able to live the lifestyle that we want. We live life on our own terms because of what we do today, not what we do tomorrow. So at 60, assuming you stop contributing and just let your retirement nest egg continue to accumulate, at 8%, your money can double in 9 years. That's applying the rule of 72. So your money, you will have 1.5 million at 69. And at 10%, your money can double in 7.2 years. So you have 2.3 million at the age of 67. You can become financially independent by applying these concepts.
Wow.
So understand taxes. So while we build wealth, we have to also think about taxes, because taxes is one of those things that eats up on our money. When saving, you want to consider the effect that taxes can have on your income. In the Saving Your Future book on page 17, there is a list of different accounts and their tax impacts. So I posted a form in the chat. If you respond to it, just respond your email address and your address. I can email you a copy and also send you the copy of the book. So send me your email address, your address.
Wonderful.
I posted that on the chat. So tax now. So tax now accounts will be your checking account, your savings account, money market. What do you keep in the bank most of the time is tax now. So tax later will be 401k annuities, tax advantage, life insurance, health savings account. So if you want to grow money, take it out without paying taxes. There are virtually 4 places that you can do that. Your life insurance, cash value life insurance policy, your health savings account, Roth IRA, and 529 for college for students. So those are the places where you can put money and take it out if you follow the rules, of course. So learn more on page 17 of the Saving Your Future book. Again, send me your email. I'll send you on your address. I'll send you a copy.
I'm sorry, what was the name
What
of
do
the
you
book?
do? Go ahead.
What was the name of the book?
Saving Your Future.
She'll send us a copy. Just send your
Right.
email.
Mhm.
Just send me your address, your email. You can send me your email on the, I sent a form, a Google
I'm
form.
putting it back in the chat box. Mhm.
Yeah, once you fill it, it will come to me.
Okay,
I'll
we
be
are
able to-
coming up on the top of the hour. Manna, you may have to pause your
I'm
screen
almost done.
and then come
I'm-
back after the announcement.
Okay. You want me to do that now?
Yeah, we're at the top of the hour.
Okay, go ahead. Let me stop sharing.
Stop sharing and then you'll come back after the
I'm about 2 slides away, so that's fine.
If we don't play this anthem, Ambassador Lisa.
I will not die today. Even if we play it late, I will not.
Okay,
Have-
do you want her to continue?
Yes, let her
And-
continue. Let's let that flow keep flowing.
Okay, hold on. It means that Ambassador Lisa is really into this because she has never agreed for us to not play the anthem. Okay, so Manna, continue, then we'll do the announcement after your presentation.
Okay, thanks. So
Mhm.
what do you know about college planning? Knowing what to do after high school is more than just paying for higher education. So for those that have young kids, it is important that we also think about their education and how we plan. So what are some of the things that we need to consider when we talk about college education. List of things needed for college preparation: tuition and funding options, admission applications, essays, major and career choices, letters of recommendation, transcripts, deciding whether you want your kid to go to public, private, local, or abroad, visiting campuses, housing, transportation, and so much more. We do have a college coaching program. And so if you are interested, or you know someone that has young kids that are in high school and up, we can get them on that program. And through that program, they're able to get grants and scholarships. So again, just put your information on the form that I sent and let me know your interest, then I will respond to you accordingly. Understand your retirement options. When should you claim for Social Security? So I'm actually in a program to become a Social Security analyst. So I can help people with how to navigate Social Security. And again, just fill that out. If that's your need, we can address that later. Importance of Medicare or Medicare expenses when you need it. Taxes on your retirement. So we do have workshops daily. So this is just an intro. To get more information, we have workshops daily. And once you send me your information, I will send you the link every day to attend those workshops. The topics range from building savings and wealth, increase cash flow and manage debt, preparing with proper protection, your health and wealth, understanding asset accumulation strategies, fulfilling long-term goals. So there are 6 different workshops and each is independent. So it doesn't matter when you start.
Okay.
I encourage everyone, take time, go through all those workshops. If you live in the US, the time zones for Central Time, they have it at 1, at 7 p.m. and at 9 p.m. And on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. only. So all the other days, 3 different time slots. If you live in Eastern Time, then it's 10 p.m., 8 p.m., and 2 p.m. And if you live in Mountain Time, it's 12, 4, and 7. So those are the times. And those who live in California, if you are in the Pacific Time, it's 11 a.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. So those are the different time slots. Again, if you need more information, just let me know and I'll be able to assist you with that. So let me just show you the topics so that. So that's the 7-year financial education workbook. So we actually have a workbook that you can use to attend the classes. And those are the different topics that I just mentioned: building savings and wealth, increase cash flow and manage debt, preparing with proper protection, your health and wealth, understanding asset accumulation strategies, and fulfilling long-term goals. So again, financial education, as we all know, financial literacy, becoming financially independent, is not a dream, it's a decision. And that decision must be a priority. When you prioritize, then you are on your way to becoming financially independent. So again, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share with you.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Whoa.
Yes.
Yes.
Reverend
Yes.
Pam, next step. That being said, I was going to ask a quick question.
Nope.
Can you do it after the
Yes,
announcement?
no quick
Yeah,
question.
you go ahead. Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's why I called your
It looks
name.
like we're going to extend the show, which is fine, but let's do the
Okay.
announcement. Yeah,
So we
Go
need,
ahead.
so I need the anthem now.
Yeah, Manna, just for the record, this is the first time Ambassador Lisa has delayed the anthem. I just want you to know how good your
Thank you, Ambassador Lisa. I appreciate
She does not play with that anthem. I'm telling you, she doesn't play. So this is, okay, let me pull the anthem. Okay. Hold on a second. All right, that was amazing. And I live in Houston here with you, and I don't know any of that. Isn't that a shame? Can you guys
We'll
believe
fix
that?
that.
Huh?
I said we'll fix that.
Okay.
Because you're already a millionaire down there.
No, I want to become a billionaire. $1 million is too small for what I do. Okay, here goes the anthem.
We can't hear.
I know I'm trying to share my volume.
Still not hearing.
Wait, what happened?
We
Still
can't
not hearing
sound.
Your sound is not on.
excuse me, the sound.
Check your sound.
Stop it and start it
Wait,
again.
wait. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to share my
Share
sound.
computer sound.
Wait. Hold on a second. I don't know why. Let me restart it. Hold on. It's not okay. Hold on. Share sound. Can you hear now?
Now,
Oh,
good.
Can you hear?
Africa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. Africans, Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God, He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind Africaonline Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does, to identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Africaonline Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. Education for everyone. If we believe prosperity for Africans. If we believe medical facilitation for Africans. If we believe stand up, stand cooperation. That's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans. Let's save Africa. Africa is the cradle of civilization, the motherland. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans. Let's save Africa. Jump on the Africaonline miracle jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans. Let's save Africa. We are writing our own story. The truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa. Man, that presentation was powerful. I will send you an email. Even when you send me the book, I want you to send me that section of that presentation, because I want to read that first. The different levels, debt management, and financial education, emergency funds, all those, because there's so many things out there, they are confusing. Yes, but that was powerful. But anyway, let me make announcements. I will give the audience opportunity to ask questions. It's our show. We can extend it as need be, but everybody will get a chance to weigh in. So next week, we're going to be talking about secondhand merchandise. In Cameroon, they call it okrika. I don't know what they call it in other parts. Ambassador Lisa, what do they call it in Uganda? They don't have any.
My daughter is on from Uganda. Carol, what do you all call secondhand merchandise in Uganda?
Okay, let her unmute herself.
The general term is mivumba.
What?
Mivumba.
Mivumba. Oh, okay, so we got it. I didn't even know there was your daughter was zooming in from Uganda. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week, secondhand merchandise. So I'm going to hand over to Ambassador Lisa, and then Nielsen will speak to our French audience, and we'll go back to the topic. And then the audience can ask, her name is Valeria, not Valerie. You guys should stop trying to change her name.
I'm sorry. What did you say? Valeria.
Valeria. Instead of saying Valerie, just say Valeria.
Can I call you Val, please? Can we be girlfriends? Can we be girlfriends? I just call you Val.
That's fine.
Okay, Ambassador Lisa, it's all yours.
Wow, thank you so much, Reverend Pam. This amazing show. I'm not going to be very long with mine now because I want to get back into the financial literacy. But Africa has an ongoing fundraiser called Operation Borehole 55. That means that we want to put a borehole in at least one medical facility in every country on the continent of Africa. We have already started. We have completed our project in Sierra Leone, and we are ready to move on to Kenya. If you would like to donate toward that, you don't understand. We have so much water here available to us in America. We use the equivalent of almost a gallon of water just brushing our teeth in the morning. Not to talk about the long showers or all those things, but in Africa, our children are walking 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning to a river, which is about 2 to 3 miles, sometimes 5 miles away from home, to bring back a jerry can of water for their family's use for the day. That is to wash clothes, to bathe in, to cook with, to wash dishes. But we want to make sure now in our medical facilities that are government approved, there is no running water. And we want to do something about that. So we would love for you to donate. It does not matter whether it's Naira, pounds, shillings, rands, dollars, all of it goes towards our borehole project. You can commit to a small monthly or a large monthly donation. You can make a one-time donation, but all of it goes towards our borehole project. We take no administrative fees. We're not using it to fly there to oversee the project. We have engineers and people on the ground that are overseeing that we trust. So If you would like to donate to Operation Borehole 55, visit our website at www.africaonlinetv.org. That's www.africaonlinetv.org, and you will be able to make a donation there. I've already had some friends who have committed to monthly donations. You can do the same. It does not matter if it's $5, $10. Please help us, help our children, help our families, our brothers and sisters on the continent to get clean running water. And not only does this water benefit the medical facility, we're running a tap outside of the facility so that the village and the people at large will be able to get this water as well. So we want you to help us in that project. Thank you so much, Reverend Pam, and to all of those who have yet to donate. We thank you in advance for your contribution.
Real quick, before Nia Song speaks to our friendship ambassador, Lisa, you forgot the miracle of the electricity. The free electricity with the solar power.
Well, our facility in Sierra Leone, the engineer who not only volunteered his time, but he volunteered to light up, to wire the medical facility. I wasn't even aware that they didn't even have light, but can you imagine giving birth at 3 o'clock in the morning and there is no light except for maybe a flashlight or a candle you bring? But this engineer has volunteered to wire and provide electricity for the delivery room and I believe the waiting area. So we are Sierra Leone has set the bar. So all of our other engineers are going to have to come and bring it, because Africaonline wants to see change happen, because Africa is for Africans. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And he's doing that because our boreholes are not mechanical, they are solar powered. And we did not think about this. So because of what he has done, every borehole that we sink in every facility in a rural area on the continent, we're going to make sure they use the solar panels, to provide electricity for the delivery room and the receptionist room, at least those 2 rooms. So that was, we did not pay for that. We did not ask for it. It's called divine favor. He decided to do it after the borehole was sunk and the solar powers were put in. He watched our event and he was so moved, he decided to do that on his own.
Merci, madame. Merci, chers auditeurs. L'une des réalisations en cours d'Africaonline Media Corporation consiste à creuser des puits d'eau dans les différents pays africains. Il y en a 55 pays. On a commencé au Sierra Leone où on a déjà creusé le premier puits d'eau, de l'eau potable, parce que notre sujet, c'est l'eau, c'est la vie. Ça, c'est notre mot de passe. L'eau, c'est la vie. Donc, nous vous prions de contribuer, de faire un peu de contribution pour qu'on puisse continuer à creuser des puits d'eau dans les différents pays africains pour fournir de l'eau dans les centres de santé développés. Celui au Sierra Leone a déjà été construit. L'ingénieur, l'électricien du coin a décidé d'électrifier la salle d'accouchement pour qu'on puisse avoir des bébés avec la lumière. Donc, nous vous prions d'aller sur africaonlinetv.org pour faire votre petite contribution. Comme ça, nous aurions les fonds nécessaires pour continuer à creuser de puits d'eau potable dans les divers pays africains. Merci beaucoup et à la prochaine. Notre prochain sujet sera, je ne sais pas comment on dit ça en français, mais ça sera le second-hand goods. Donc, le friperie. Oui, je crois que c'est la friperie. Oui, voilà, c'est le nom en français, la friperie. Merci beaucoup et continuons avec notre discussion sur what is it again? Yes, financial literacy. So I think maybe I have to go with the first question. I know you touched on that, but I know that age is not a question. But somebody mentioned to me the other day, if you don't have money by when you are 40 years old, then your chances are squandered. Is that true?
The devil is a liar.
That's not true, because again, like I mentioned before, age is now is always a good time. You can always start at 40, so long as you keep that habit going, you're fine. There are people that start saving at 60. You just have to do more. So if you didn't start early, when you start younger, you have time. So you can put very little aside. If someone starts at the age of, let's say you start a kid at 0, you put aside $50 $100, it goes a long way. But if you're starting at 60, you cannot be doing $100, right? Because time
Thank
is
you.
not on your side. So
Yes.
to catch up on time, you have to put in more money. That's just it. You have to save more. If you're
Okay.
younger, time is on your side, so you can put less. But as you get older, you have to do more,
Okay.
not less. That's
Ambassador
just
Lisa.
Nyesom, please stay away from the person who told you that.
Yeah, no, we meet once in a while, not often.
your life
So
is just
he
starting.
won't influence me. Yeah, we meet once in a while, not often. So that's it. But I think we need to get people on the screen, in the chat room to talk. Please, if you have ideas or things to say, I think before we left, I wanted Vera to say something. They look alike, and the twin
Vera is
sister
at
of
work.
our
Vera
guest.
is at
Oh,
work.
she's at
She
work.
won't be able
Okay.
to talk. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is Iman still here? No. Okay.
No.
All right. Let me see who else I can call from my angle here. Stella Angwafo, are you with us tonight? If you are with us, please unmute yourself and say your word on financial literacy. Probably not. Okay, she's muted. Yes.
I am here.
Yes.
Good evening, my brother. Good evening, my sister Pam. I know I haven't seen you guys for quite a while, and this is actually my first day of listening to the show, or actually signing in. I was given the heads up by Dr. Esther Angwafo, my junior sister in Houston.
And
I wanted to sign up because I am also a financial professional.
Awesome.
In as much as I am an attorney, I've practiced law for more than 23 years. But you know, we always need multiple streams of income, particularly when you are getting to that age of retirement. So I just want to commend and applaud the young lady who is giving the presentation today. I just joined this organization. I've been there for less than a year, and I am now a marketing director, and I'm working towards becoming an SMD like she is. But I just wanted to thank you. You guys are doing an exceptional job. I hope to join with you guys as often as it's feasible. Again, thank you. And Sister Pam, my sister, just wanted to greet.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Stella. And you can visit our Facebook page at Africaonline TV. We've been doing this show for 6 years. We touch on everything. And the last Sunday of every month, we do a medical topic. You know, so just take your time, go to our Facebook page and watch the shows, and you will be blessed. We have never missed a show in 6 years. So thank you so much for joining. And since you are on the same organization with Valeria, I think she can mentor you and get you to that position faster than you otherwise get to.
That is it. Thank you very much, my dear. Thank you.
Okay, we're
it's my pleasure.
I say, Carol Musunga, are you there? Please unmute yourself and tell us what you think about financial literacy. Carol?
I think she's zooming in from Uganda, and they can also ask questions.
Yes, or ask a question.
Okay. There is Comfort.
She needs to unmute. She needs to unmute.
Okay. Oh, yeah, she's unmuted. Yeah, go ahead, please. Question. And welcome to the show in a way.
Thank you for the show. And thank you, Valeria. I joined in a little late. However, it's been very insightful. I was talking to my mom. I was telling her, thank you for the invite because it's quite insightful. Saving, teaching, actually it starts now. We might be a little older, but it starts now teaching our children the saving culture, denying ourselves the pleasures now for the future. So I think it's a great topic. I do not have much to say now, but I'm learning. I'm listening in and learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stephanian, if you're on, please unmute yourself and speak up. Financial literacy, what does it mean to you as a person? What does it mean to you as a member of a community? Stephanian, is she there or is she there? If not, we'll go back.
They're muted. So.
Comfort, stay unmuted so you can speak. Yes, Comfort. Come in and say something about financial literacy. Also muted. Oh, Adnash is unmuted. Okay, thank you for being on the show. What do you have to say about financial literacy?
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. As a matter of fact, Ma Valeria is my mentor. I belong under her leadership.
Awesome.
And I want to say that I want to applaud Africaonline for the wonderful things they are doing. I give credit to them because I first heard about this information here in Africaonline. And that is how I got myself into this, and it's very, very educative and empowering. My life will never be the same again. Also,
Great.
working with Ma Valeria is a great, great gain. She is the power, the engine that is pushing me and other people up. And every day when I listen to her, I come out with something new again to continue to grow. So Ma Valeria, thank you so much for being our engine in financial education. And I hope everyone who is here can link up with her because she will help you go places. She's very, very passionate about it. And she pushes us to work hard to reach everybody for this month of April. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. And thousands of people are going to watch this show for years to come. It will never come down. It will also be uploaded on our YouTube page in a couple of days. So Ma Valeria, get ready to be busy with your team. And as far as Ambassador Lisa is concerned, this woman doesn't sleep. She's not an ambassador just by name. She is an ambassador. Yeah. And she's also a global ambassador for Africaonline. So just get ready. Yeah, so.
Ambassador Lisa, I'll turn the microphone to you instead.
Thank you. We're gonna hear back from Ronald in a minute. But Valeria, I know that you announced times. I'm sorry, Val. I know that you announced the United States. I want you and my daughter to connect. I was telling her, yes. I really wanted her to be able to, so I was praying that she was going to have data that she could jump on here because, you know, I'm traveling in and out of Africa all the time. And I want to see my young people, my daughters and my sons and my grandkids not continue that poverty, line of poverty. So I like how, you know, we try and take the things that we're talking about here and we try and bridge that gap. And I for you two to connect and try and bridge that gap. So, you know, we can break it down. Of course, they don't have $500, $600 and all those amounts to be able to save. But I like what you said at the beginning of the show and she wasn't here. And that's when I jumped over there and grabbed her. When you said, pay yourself 1 hour salary, put that away in the bank. And I was like, I always vision my children being able to be trendsetters. They're pioneers because I'm a pioneer. And they're not my sons and daughters for no reason. So I'm just so grateful that she was able to jump on and get some of this so that my grandchildren will be secure and she can see change in Uganda. So that is not my last word on the topic, but I just need to get that out. We want to hear from Ronald. Ronald is one of those people who retired at, I think you told me you retired at 46?
42.
42. I wish that had been me. I wish I'd have known these things when I was a child, but I retired 3 years ago and I ain't mad. I don't have $1 million.
Right.
But I ain't mad. So Ronald, come on, share with us some of your.
I just want to compliment Valeria for bringing out this insightful information on financial literacy. And I look forward to attending the workshops. So I'm gonna send her my email.
Yeah, I told you.
So I just posted the Google form again. So if you look, let me post it again. Just
I posted it on Facebook as well with your
okay.
name
Thank
to
you.
it. So it would. So
Ambassador Lisa doesn't play.
So for those that missed it, just
yes,
respond to it. Send your information. Once I get in, then I'll connect with you.
Now, you probably
Okay.
would not be able to send Carol a book. I don't know if you send out of the country or not.
No,
but-
I'll send her an electronic copy.
Okay, wonderful. So that she can have
Yeah.
and get it. So we want to make sure that this information gets out. Like I said, my church, we have financial literacy classes, but I've not heard this information like that, especially that, what you call it, that debt roll up. I mean,
Yes.
and I have, by other names, but that was just powerful. Your presentation, I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you.
Now, Valeria, one quick question. We are talking here about Africa particularly, but you all know, you know that on the continent, people are reluctant to do some of the things that have to do with money. So what would you tell that young lady, young boy on the streets of one country in Africa or the other, or generally the young people of the continent? What will you tell them to do to have financial literacy as part of their daily lives?
Thank you for the question. So the very first thing for that young kid, the young man to do is the first thing is to know that nothing is impossible. So long as you have the desire, there's always a way out. And money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work for it. If you don't go to work, you're not gonna make money. Mm-hmm. And when you work for money, you have to put your money to work for you. Because if you don't put your money to work for you, then you always work for it. The one way you get your money to work for you is by keeping your money, putting it somewhere, give it that time, plus or minus the rate of return, minus inflation, minus taxes. That is how you will build wealth. So everybody can build wealth. It takes discipline and consistency. And so the question to the young man is, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Where do you want to be in the next 10 years? It all depends on the decisions that you make today, not tomorrow. And your future is in your hand. And so you must take control of your future.
Thank you. At this point,
I have a quick question. I have a quick question
sure.
for Valeria before. I can ask her after the show, but I want to ask here so that it can benefit other people.
Yes.
A couple of things. You are familiar with what we call Njangi in Cameroon or among the Cameroonian community. For those who are not from Cameroon, and I know in Uganda they do this, but it's where people contribute, a group of people or a committee, they may contribute $100 every month, and then they give it to somebody. And then the next month, somebody else collects the money. There's no interest or anything. Some people even make it where at the end of the month, they actually get together and celebrate and they give the money. So it's mandatory savings. But there is also this 52 weeks money saving strategy that we have done in our family. And I did it at the end of the year. I had the money, but I just gave it away to somebody. So I want to ask you, Valeria, to advise our people. If you are involved in money savings activities like that, not through the bank, but something like Njangi, when you collect the money, what should they do with it?
Okay.
Give people advice, because it gives you a reasonable amount of money at one time, rather than putting little money in the bank. Even though the bank interests are to me, they are abysmal. So I don't just regular money in the savings account in the bank. To me, to grow money, you have to invest money. But I want Valeria to advise our people, African people now, who are involved in either this Njangi thing or the 52 weeks money savings a program where you put the 52 weeks, you can Google it, you put $1 or you put an amount of money that corresponds to that week of the calendar. You can put in a shoebox or whatever. At the end of the year, you should come out with about, I think, 13 something, that's 1375 or whatever, and you can actually double it. So I want her to advise, because me, when I collect this money, even Njangi, I just give it, I just bless somebody. I don't do anything with it. So advise me and the other people, what can we do with the money? I'm not saying that people should not bless people, but what can we do with the money?
Right. Okay. Great question. Thank you for your question. So the first thing with Njangi is, Njangi has to have a goal. That savings, you must have a goal for why you're saving money. You can't just save for saving's sake. That's the first thing. And then when money changes, when we take the money and we give to someone and it changes hands, the money doesn't grow. That's the other thing. So it's not growing. That goal should be, maybe you get an account. It could be, there are 3 places where we put money, right? We either put our money in the bank, we put it in investment, or we put it in insurance. So if I use the example of insurance, cash value insurance, one thing that I would say about, I know September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. I would like to come back to the show to talk about that.
Okay.
Okay, Ambassador Lisa is a producer. Ambassador Lisa, put her down for September.
I'm grabbing that. It's life. I'm sorry, you said life insurance? No.
Yeah, Life Insurance Awareness Month.
Okay.
It's September. So you can collect that lump sum of money, either put it in an investment. So it all depends on the goals. Is it long-term? Is it short-term? Because if it's short-term, then you can put it in a mutual fund. However, you have to understand the risk. It goes up and down. If it's, you could put in your bank account, it doesn't grow. There are some banks that give you like CDs for 0.5%. That's not really a lot,
No,
but it's still better than zero.
Mm-hmm.
The goal for that money should be for long term. If you don't have another way you can save is using the cash value life insurance. So if you take that money and you put it in your policy, then every year when you get your Njangi, the goal will be to fund that policy. So that gives you a place. That's a goal. So for those that don't have long-term care, they don't have critical illness, they don't have life insurance, that could be a goal for that money. So you want to start your long-term care when you are younger, because as you get older, the chances of you getting approved is lower. So when you collect that money, put it in there. There are companies like Transamerica offers between 0.75 to 15%. So if the market is at 10, it uses, the Transamerica product is an index product that uses 3 indices. Depending on how these indices perform, your account is credited. However, there is a cap of 15% and there is a floor of 0.75. So you know you will never lose money. Your money can only grow. And on top of that, you have coverage. You have access to your money. After a couple of years, 3 years, you can pull money out of it. Okay. You can use it to supplement your retirement. And a lot of people, we know, all of us know at least one person that has been diagnosed with cancer. How do we make sure that we are able to take care of ourselves if we are diagnosed of any critical illness? Life insurance policies have riders, like critical illness rider, that can take care of that. And that's not money that you have saved. You're just moving your money and put it in a place that gives you more value. When you leave your money in the bank, there's really no value for it. Yes. If you take your money and you put it in an insurance policy, you are getting value for your money more than what you have put in. So we talk about generational wealth. One way we can assure generational wealth is through life insurance. And that is something that we all need to think about. Or to make sure that we retire with dignity, we have to also make sure that we have a long-term care. Because long-term care is one of those things that once people are sick and they cannot afford it, they become bankrupt, because money that is meant for retirement is now used for illness. Whereas if you had planned properly, getting the right protection, then you have critical illness, you have long-term care, and if that situation arises, you are able to take care of yourself. So again, proper protection is very important, and where we put our money makes all the difference. We must put our money where it brings us more value. And that is one thing that wealthy people have learned to do, which we have to also do, because we want to create a generation of wealthy people. And the sure way of doing that, tax-free, is life insurance. You can put your money in investment. The question is, when you are not here, how much of that really goes to your family? A lot of it goes in taxes. But if you are taking some of that money and putting in life insurance, that lump sum goes to your family tax-free. So we need to rethink our financial house. We need to follow that concept, starting with proper protection, building it up with debt management, then emergency fund, and investment. So we need to follow that order.
Awesome, yeah.
build a
Okay,
solid financial
Valeria, I
foundation.
think it looks like it's time to take a round of the table. So start composing your final word. I will start now at the bottom of the screen, of my screen. Carol, I don't know if you're still with us. Unmute yourself and give us your last word on financial literacy. Carol, yes,
yes,
there she goes.
yes,
Your
I'm
last
still
word,
on.
please.
Okay. My last word, I'm eagerly awaiting Valeria's book. And
Good.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that it's never too late. Yes,
never
the
too
older
late.
we get,
Awesome.
the more
Yeah.
work it's
It's
the
never
more
too
work involved. But yes, I'm purposing to take it on. Thank you,
Awesome.
Mom.
Thank
You're
you very
welcome,
much.
darling.
We're going, I go across my screen, and Stella, if you are still there, please unmute yourself and give us your last word. Stella, please, your last word on the show.
Maybe she
If
stepped
not,
away.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
maybe
not,
she's
I'll say, well, I understand Vera is at work, so I won't call on her. Comfort, please, Comfort, your last word on the show. Unmute yourself and give us your last word. Okay, there she comes. Yeah, your last word on the show, please.
She's muted.
All right. My last word, I just want to say that this is a wonderful program, Africaonline. I like the fact that we are going back to our roots to take care of our own people. That is wonderful. And I thank you all for doing what you are doing. And back to Ma Valeria. Ma Valeria, thank you so much. And Reverend Pam, you are not left behind. You are a keyboard of about this. You are changing Africa one day at a time.
We are. Don't forget.
Awesome. All
Don't
of you
forget
are
yourself.
awesome. Nia Song and the rest, the ambassador. I just raise my card for all of you for the wonderful things you're doing, and keep on doing it. We are all together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Brother Ronald, you and I were the only men today, so your last word.
My last word is I'm thankful that Valeria came on and presented her information about financial literacy. And I look forward to when she talks about index insurance policy next month. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ambassador Lisa, you want me to go with you first before?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, your last word.
We can go. My last word, I want to thank Valeria for her information today, her beautiful smile. It just lightened my heart. The information was powerful. And just for the record's sake, if you join that 52-week savings club, at the end of the 52 weeks, you will have $1,378.
Okay, 78, not 75.
Just putting away that amount of money that corresponds with that week. On week 27, you're saving $27. On week 40, you're saving $40. So that I haven't happened to have it in my phone. I have all these savings plans in my phone, which I've not activated any of them, but they're in my phone and I'm going busy. Thank you again for joining us. This has been a wonderful show. I would love to be able to do this again and do it with some young people so they can really not be, so they can be retiring at 42 like Ronald and enjoying their life.
Thank you so much, Valeria. The ball will now be in your court for the next several minutes. Give us your last word on this program. It has been such a great pleasure having you.
It's been an honor. And I'm going to end by saying this. Life is all about choices. What will your future look like 5 years from now? My advice is change your thinking and change your life. People don't fail because they plan to fail. People fail because they do not plan. So nobody gets up and says, I'm going to be broke. But we have to plan. When we plan, we avoid failure. It's never too late. Today is always a new day. I always say there is a reason why we call today present. It is a gift. What you do with today is up to you. So make today count by making the right decisions. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming and looking forward to seeing you more often on Africa Online.
Yes, I will.
Thank you, Reverend Pam. The ball is in Houston, Texas.
What can I say? On a personal note, I am very, very proud of my little sister, Valeria. But on behalf of Africa Online Media Corporation, she is part of Africa Online. She's on the forum.
Yeah, I'm on the
You
phone.
know, she may be quiet. We hear her voice only during April, but we need to start hearing her
September.
voice. I'm glad she left the classroom, and what she's doing now is a bigger classroom. So now I am very, very proud of you. I want you to know
Thank
that.
you,
I get
ma'am.
too busy to tell you guys how proud I am of you guys, but I'm
Thank
very, very proud of you. You know, and I want to thank all those who Zoom in, all our listeners, all our participants, and please share this information. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it.
Yes.
Valeria is not charging for the
Yeah,
information.
no
Please
fee.
share,
Free.
share it. Share the information. Share
Yes.
it. Share it on all your networks.
Yes.
All right, Niaso.
Thank you so much. It is not
Especially
how
in
much
Africa.
you make, it is how much you keep. It is not how much you make, it is how much you keep. And on that last word, please feel free to zoom out now. And we thank you all for participating and see you next week. And the topic shall be secondhand merchandise. All right. Thank you all for coming, and please have a good week.
Thank
you.